So welcome again. This is part 2 of the lecture number 3, Law of Diminishing Return in Crop Production. So we have seen some basic information about which are directly or indirectly related to Law of Diminishing Return. Especially we have seen productivity measures, average product, total product, elasticity of production, partial factor productivity. We have seen what is production function, meaning, and we have seen short run, long run, and we could also see the different kind of costs. There are mainly two kind of costs: cost associated with fixed factors are fixed costs, and cost associated with variable factor are variable cost. So first of all, Marshall defined the law of diminishing return, or it is also called as law of diminishing marginal return. An increase in capital and labor employed in the cultivation of land causes, in general, a less than proportionate increase in the amount of produce based unless it happens to coincide with improvement in the part of. Please switch off the microphone. Somebody's microphone is on. Yeah, thank you. So you can see law of diminishing return. Marshall has been a famous economist, and he has given many definitions, many concepts. So he's quite popular economist. So his definition are most widely quoted. So increase in capital and labor. So you can see capital is your almost fixed kind of resources are, or consumables are purchased from capital, means resources which are purchased from money, and labor employed in the cultivation of land. Land is your natural resource and others are your artificial resource. In general, in less than proportion, as you increase the amount or size of these resources, the output decreases. The quantity of change is less. That is your law of diminishing return. So now, in economics, diminishing return also called diminishing marginal return, because it is actually marginal returns which are decreasing. Output of a production process as the amount of a single factor of production is increased. So to make you understand this, this is basically based upon a single factor. Other factors remain constant, while the amount of other factors of production stay constant. Now, law of variable proportion. I was discussing in the beginning, I've thrown a question on you. Can you tell me the difference in law of variable proportion and law of diminishing return? So actually there is little bit of difference, very minor difference in the law of variable proportion. Law of variable proportion includes your law of diminishing return. So first thing is that law of variable proportion is much bigger umbrella than the law of diminishing return. So law of variable proportion has all the three phases. All the three phases means in the first phase, your marginal, your total return or total output increases at increasing rate. In the second, it increases at decreasing rate. In the third, it becomes negative. So all the three, in the third, it starts falling. In all the three stages are part of law of variable proportion. I will explain you meaning of variable proportion. This variable proportion meaning is the ratio of fixed resources is to variable resources. The ratio of fixed inputs to the ratio of variable input is your variable proportion. And law of diminishing return is actually the third stage. Only the third stage of law of variable proportion is your law of diminishing return. But to get the third stage, you need to pass through the first and second stage also. In law of diminishing return, actually you are going to study the declining response in the third phase. But to get that phase, you need to pass through the phase 1 and phase 2. You got it, I think. Only the third stage is law of diminishing return. But to reach the third phase, you need to pass the stage 1 and 2. So that is your, because law of diminishing return will not straightway start. It has to follow stage 1 and 2. Therefore, law of diminishing return and law of variable proportion are almost synonymous. The law of variable proportion includes all the three stages. So you can see here, when more and more units of variable factors are used, holding the quantities of fixed factors constant, a point is reached beyond which the MP, then AP, and finally TP will diminish. The law of variable proportion or variable proportion, you can say non-proportional return, the same thing. The law of variable proportion or the law of non-proportional returns is also known as the law of diminishing returns. But as we shall see, the law of diminishing return is only one phase of more comprehensive law of variable proportion. So law of variable proportion is more comprehensive, more bigger, and law of diminishing return is smaller. Therefore, many times people take them synonymous. There is hardly any difference in law of variable proportion. It is mostly in the terminology. Here you deal with the proportion of fixed factor to the variable factor. In law of diminishing return, you talk about the returns. Law of variable proportion is an
Sir, Sir, somebody are waiting in the lobby, sir. Please, can you please admit them, sir?
I have admitted, just admitted. I think.
Okay, sir.
I think I am seeing if anybody, any new person comes to be admitted, then it comes on my screen. So I am seeing it, but right now nobody is asking for admission. So don't worry, whenever it comes, I will do it. पता नहीं क्या गड़बड़ है. Anyway, if somebody missed, I will put the recording on YouTube. You can see there. Law of variable proportion is an extension. Just see, law of variable proportion is an extension of law of diminishing return, as it also considers the phase of rising MP in addition to falling MP. So LVP considers all the three stages. The common element between both the laws is that MP is bound to decrease sooner or later with increase in units of variable factor. Now see, returns to a factor. Return to a factor is the resultant increase in the TP. TP is your return actually, when only one factor is increased, keeping all factors fixed. In short run, when one input is variable and all other inputs are fixed, the firm's production function exhibits the law of variable proportion. It shows the nature of rate of change in output due to a change in only one variable factor of production. This is also known as law of returns or law of return to a factor or returns to a variable factor. This is just terminology. Now there are three stages. The changes in TP and MP can be classified into three stages. Stage 1, TP rises at an increasing rate. So here MP increases, marginal product increases. I will show you with the help of example. Stage 2, TP's total product rises at decreasing rate. It is increasing, but at a decreasing rate because MP is decreasing. But it is positive, more than 0. Stage 3, TP falls. TP starts falling in stage 3 and MP becomes negative. In short, the marginal physical product of a variable resource will first increase, then decrease, and finally it becomes negative in stage 3. Now understand with the help of an example. I'm giving you one example. A farmer has 1 acre land. Land is a fixed factor on which he wants to increase the production of wheat with the help of labor. He wants to employ labor as a variable factor. When he employed more and more units of labor, initially output increased at an increasing rate. then at a decreasing rate, and finally at a negative rate. So output means total product. Output here means TP, total product. This behavior of output is known as output is shown in table. You can see in the, I'm sorry, this output was with respect to marginal return. When we employed more and more units of labor, initially output increased at an increasing rate. This is for marginal. Then at decreasing rate, and finally at a negative rate. This is your MP. Now you see this the same thing in the table. Your fixed factor, the first column is important. Your land is just 1 acre with the farmer. So whatever level of production will be there, whatever level of variable factor will be there, his fixed resource is not going to change. It will remain only 1 acre. However, he can make changes in the variable factor, starting from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let us see how this total product behave in this example. So first it was 10, 30. At 3 units, it became 45, 52, 52, 48. So you can see initially it is increasing up to 5th unit. Up to 50 unit, it is maximum, or 4 and 5 units are giving almost same. And then at the 6th unit of variable factor, it declined to 48. See the marginal product. Marginal product is 10 for 1 unit, because when you have 0 unit, MP is 0. So 10 minus 0 becomes your 10. So MP here is 10. And then 30 minus 10. 30 is total product for unit 2 of variable factor. 30 minus 10, you get 20. 45 minus 30, 15. 52 minus 45, 7. 52 minus 52, 0. 48 minus 50, 52 minus 4. So likewise, you can work out the MP. And then average product is your column number 3 divided by column number 2. Total product divided by variable factor, that is your labor. So 10 by 1, 10. 30 by 2, you get 15. 45 by 3, 15. 52 by 4, 13, and so on. So you get average product. Now, many times you get objective questions and just identify the stage. If you have this data on TP, MP, AP, how to find the different phases or stages of the law of diminishing return or law of variable proportion. So you get 3 different stages. One is increasing return, the green one. You can see the green one. So your marginal product has increased from 10 to 20. So therefore, TP is increasing at an increasing rate, because here your MP is increasing. Therefore, this stage is increasing return stage. Now see, second stage is your diminishing return. Diminishing return, your MP is there, MP is positive, but MP is decreasing. MP has become 15 at unit 3, then 7, then it has become 0. So up to 0, there is no problem. And your TP is also not decreasing. It is almost fixed at 52, or it is maximum value of the TP. This is your diminishing return. The third is negative return, where your marginal product is -4. So here your total product is 48, which has reduced, which has declined. Therefore, it is law of diminishing return. So stage 3 is your negative return. But now see very interesting fact. When you are getting the increasing return, the ratio, the variable proportion of the factor was 1:1. See, fixed factor land is 1. Your variable factor labor is also 1. When you have 1:1, your marginal product is 10. And when you have 1:2, 1 land and 2 labor, then your marginal product is 20. That means your 1:2 is the ideal ratio, is the best ratio to get maximum marginal product. But that may not be the best level of the labor when we consider it in terms of money. But here, the marginal return is highest when you have 1:2 ratio of the factor, fixed factor and variable factor. Now see, when you have ratio 1:3, 1:4, 1:5, so you get diminishing return. When you have 1:6, you get negative return. So this is actually law of variable proportion. So you get variable proportion of inputs and then you get variable output. And output is in decreasing trend, mostly in decreasing trend after the second unit. So you can see the pink one, negative return. So this is actually law of diminishing return. The pink one is law of diminishing return. However, to get this pink one, you need to cross the green one and this coffee color, whatever color is there. You need to cross these two phases to reach the negative return. So therefore, both law of variable proportion and law of diminishing return, they overlap, and practically hardly any difference is there in law of variable proportion. If you define it law of variable proportion, then define with respect to proportion of these fixed resources and variable resources, and also say that it has three phases or three stages. When you talk about law of diminishing return, you say that it has got only one stage, that is a stage of negative return or third stage, but it need to cross first two stages to get the third stage. Now, factor ratio keep on changing. Law of variable proportion. Production is carried out under conditions of variable proportions. Proportion between the fixed and variable factor changes with every additional variable factor. In the table, the ratio between land and labor changes from 1:1 to 1:2, and then to 1:3, and so on, with addition of more and more units of labor. And you see the output increases, but very slow rate or decreasing rate. Now you see, this is the graph of total product. You get units of variable factor at x-axis, and units of this y is your yield, total product. Total product is on y-axis and x-axis have your variable factor. So this is the kind of curve. This is known as TPC. This is known as TPC means, what is TPC? Anybody can tell? This line TPC.
Total production cost.
Total product curve. Very good. So this is your total product curve, TPC. This is line is known as total product curve, TPC. Now we see marginal product. So this is how marginal product is behaving. You can see at 1 unit you go 10, at unit 2 you get 20, and then at unit 5 you get 0, and then at unit 6 you get negative. So this is marginal product curve, MPC. Now similarly you get average product. At unit 1 it is 10, at unit 2 and 3 it is the same, and then it starts falling, but still it is not negative. And now if you put all these three curves, MPC, APC and TPC, if you impose in one picture, one figure, you see it like this. So you can see three stages, and you can call them phases or stages. Some economists, some books, they write phases, and some books write stages. I did not see any difference in phase and stage under this subject. So now you see TPC. TPC is your red color. So this is TPC. It is increasing, and then it becomes constant and highest at unit 5, and then it starts falling. Now you see the yellow one, the marginal product. You can see at unit 2 it is maximum. It is maximum, and then it starts falling. It starts falling, and immediately above this on the TPC, total product curve, you get point of inflection. Point of inflection is there, and you can see this round solid circle, blue color, light blue color or gray color. So this is actually point of inflection at unit 2 at total product curve, because there is sudden fall in the MP. So there is sharp change in the shape of the TPC. The shape of the TPC suddenly falls from this point. Otherwise, it could have increased very fast. Otherwise, it could have increased very fast. There is sudden change, sudden fall in TP at this particular point. So this point is known as point of inflection at TPC, total product curve, where your MP is maximum. You can see stage 1 ends when this AP and MP are equal, and then your both starts decreasing in stage 2, and at the end of this stage, AP is positive, but MP is 0, and your TP is maximum, and then stage 3, your TP falls, your AP falls but positive, and your MP becomes negative. So these are the things you need to remember, you need to learn. I can show you in stage 1 and 3 are considered as irrational stages, and 2 as rational or stage where you need to operate. Because what happens in here, because your marginal return, you are getting something even at 5. At 5, you are not getting any marginal return. So here you get total production is maximum. So your ideal unit may be before this. Ideal unit of variable factor may be before 5, maybe 4.5, maybe 4.3, maybe something else, where the price of the output, additional output, equals to the cost of the additional input. So that point is point of maximum return. So therefore, stage 2 is rational stage where an operator or farmer should operate. Otherwise, stage 1 and 3 are not considered as rational stages. Stage 1, electing to stop in stage 1 is irrational. One should not stop here, because why should one stop producing if the output is increasing at an increasing rate? As long as the average physical product is rising, one should expand input use. Stage 2 appears to hold primary interest for a farmer that wishes to maximize its profit. Means farmer should operate in stage 2. Stage 3, if input is increased beyond certain inputs, output will fall. It is irrational to increase the use of an input if it only leads to less output. Means farmer, if they operate in this region, they will put to the loss. Now stage 1. Now some details about these stages, and you get several questions in your examinations, and different examination on these. Stage 1 starts with the point of origin up to the point where marginal physical product remains greater than APP. So it ends where your MPP remains greater than APP. APP, average physical product, increases throughout this region, indicating the efficiency of all the inputs in stage 1. TPP increases with increasing rate, and this stage ends when AP is maximum or MP is equal to AP. Elasticity of production is more than 1. That means if you increase your input by 1%, output increases by more than 1%. So because MPP is greater than APP up to maximum average product, at maximum average product, EP is 1. Now, stage 1 continues. Point of inflection you get. I have shown you point of inflection. In this figure, you see, if you can see this point, this particular point of TP is your point of inflection. Sudden change in the shape of the TPC. So when MP is maximum, the corresponding point on TP is called point of inflection. Inflection point indicates the change in curvature of the TPC, total product. This is obtained when MP is decreasing. Here MP is not negative, it is 0 or positive. This stage obtained when somebody's microphone is on. Please put it off. Your microphone is on, dear. Is less than AP. AP is more than MP here, stage 2. Stage 2 ends when TP is maximum and MP is 0. At the starting point of this stage, MP is equal to AP where EP is 1. When these two join, when they are equal, at that particular point, EP is 1. Elasticity of production is 1. And then EP will also fall. So TP increase at decreasing rate. Now, second phase is very crucial as rational producer will always aim to produce in this phase as TP is maximum and MP of each variable factor is positive. If the producer wants to maximize profits, he must operate in region 2 of production function. EP is less than 1, but greater than 0 between maximum AP and maximum TP. It is less than 1, but we need, this was in physical term, but we need to see it in monetary term. Stage 3 is the last irrational stage. TP decreases, MP crosses 0 point and becomes negative. This is a very harmful, not harmful, farmers will be in loss, farming is in loss. TP also decreases, but it is still positive. It is not a profitable zone. Addition quantity of point reduces TPP. EP is 0, less than 0 as TP declines. Here it is double loss. Irrational zone, reduced production, your production is going down, and unnecessarily additional cost of input, which can create pollution also if it is fertilizer. So farmers are in double loss. Now some numericals, one numerical I am showing you, and then I will ask you to do one numerical. So here you can see the problem is identify the different output levels which mark the 3 phases of the operation of law of variable proportion from the following table. So in the first row, you see variable factor 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then total product. These are units, any unit you can take. So this is just in units 0, 8, 20, 28, 28, 20. Then MP, you need to work out the MP, and then you need to find out the stages where you have stage 1, stage 2, and where you have stage 3. So I get solved it for you. You can see. Now you need to calculate MP. See the row number 3. Here MP is 8 because 8 minus, you just see row number 2 of TP. TP can be used to calculate MP. So 8 minus 0, you get 8. 20 TP minus 8 TP, you get 12. 28 minus 20, you get 8. 28 minus 28, you get 0. 20 minus 28, you get minus 8. So for the first unit from 1 to 2, you get stage 1. So you can see the characters here. Here your TP is increasing and your MP is maximum, that is 12. Now you see stage 2. In stage 2, your TP is maximum, that is 28. And you can see your MP start decreasing and it has become 0, where TP is maximum. And this is your stage 2. And now see the stage 3, where your TP has fallen from 28, it has become 20. And your MP has become negative. From 0, which was 0, it has become minus 8. Therefore, this is stage 3. So such kind of problems you may get in your quiz exam. If you are given TP and MP values, you will be asked to calculate the different stages 1, 2, and 3. And this will make you understand this law better, this numerical. Now I give you this. This is the problem you need to solve yourself. You have 2-3 minutes time and try to find it out. I'll show you answer whether you did it correctly or not.
Sir, up to third column, it's first stage.
Okay, good. And then,
Then up to unit 5, unit of variable factor 5, that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 column, it is phase 2.
correct.
And last is phase 3.
Yeah, 6. Yeah, that's good. So everybody can
Yes.
check your answers. This is not rocket science, brother. It's very small. The only thing is that you should have confidence. You should have confidence. So in this case, you know how to work out MP. First value is going to be the same, 50, 50 minus 0. You see the row of the TP. 110 minus 50, you get 60. 150 minus 110, you get 40. 180 minus 150, you get 30. 180 minus 180, 0. And 150 minus 180, you get minus 30. So it is quite easy. You can see how to decide that where I should have stage 1. So where in stage 1, you get MP is maximum because we know MP is highest. So MP, you see the whole row of MP. So it is the 60 where your MP is highest. That means my stage 1 finishes here because MP is highest. Then how to decide that it is my stage 2? Because if you remember, the MP will start falling, will decreasing in stage 2, and it will reach 0. So end of the stage 2 is when your MP is 0. So therefore, up to 0, my stage will be 2. And then when your MP is negative, that means my stage is 3rd. Is that clear to everybody?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Good. So now you can see I have shown you stage 1, 2, 3, and there are some more numericals. You try to do yourself, try to understand with some examples. Like this is another example, and TP and so on. Similarly, it will give you more idea, clear idea about this subject. And now from this onward, we have one more link. The last link, which is started somewhere at 12:30. So I will use that link, and that will be the final link. We will finish your lecture at 1:15. I will not carry beyond 1:15. So whatever link I have sent you, the third one, the last one will be used now. You already have that link is starting at 12:30, I think. And there we will finish this remaining subject. This is point number 1. Point number 2 is it possible that from tomorrow, can we start class at 9? Instead of 9:15, if we start at 9 to 10:15, then we can cover relatively more subject. Because this disturbance and so many things, and we cannot concentrate on studies continuously. So if you do not have any issue, then I will change the links. And do you agree to that? Instead of 9:15, can we start at 9? So that we get more.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. No problem.
Yes, sir.
So I will revise the links and send you. The second link will be the same. I think second will be the same. The first one needs revision. I will see how it can be done. So we will go to the next and third link. So dear students, this is the most important part, which is normally not taught to the students. And normally it is not available in our general books of agriculture. So you have seen somewhere in the stage 1, you have seen some increasing return to the factor. In stage 2, you have seen diminishing return, means diminishing marginal return. And in the stage 3, you have seen diminishing, rather negative marginal return. In stage 1, increasing marginal return. Stage 2, your diminishing marginal return. And in stage 3, you have seen a negative marginal return. So what are the reasons for this? So I have put all the reasons in one slide. You can see in stage 1 why there is increasing return. Number 1, better utilization of fixed resources or fixed factor here. Increase efficiency of variable factor. Number 2.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Sir, slide is not visible.
Oh, slide is not visible. Okay. So is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Yeah, this is nice. I was also thinking that they are not, they are a bit dull slide on my end. Thank you. So reasons for increasing return in stage 1, better utilization of the fixed factor, increase efficiency of variable factor, and number 3rd one is indivisibility of fixed factor. Reasons for diminishing marginal return to factor in stage 2 are 2 reasons: optimum combination of factors and imperfect substitute. We will see, we will explain. Then 3rd stage, you get reasons for negative return. Why returns are negative? What are the reasons? The limitation of fixed factor is number 1. The microphone is on, somebody's microphone is on. Poor coordination between variable and fixed factors, and decreasing in efficiency of variable factor. So you can see these are the reasons why these kind of changes happen to marginal return. Number 1, reasons for increasing return to a factor in stage 1. So number 1, as I have already shown you, better utilization of the fixed factor. In the first stage, you have better combination, better utilization. They are not too high or not too less. Supply of the fixed factor is too large here, whereas variable factors are too few. So the fixed factor is not fully utilized, means it remains unutilized. You can put more and more. When variable factors are increased and combined with fixed factor, then fixed factor is better utilized. So it is still underutilized. There is a lot of scope that you can put more variable factor. So here, better utilization of the fixed factor. Number 2, increase efficiency of variable factor. When variable factors are increased and combined with fixed factor, then former is utilized in more efficient manner. At the same time, there is great cooperation and high degree of specialization between different units of the variable factor. So here means there is no infighting, there is no competition sort of things. So variable factor efficiency is generally high. So suppose if you have 1 acre land and you employ, there is need of 2 laborers and you employ 3 or 4 laborers, then that may not be good. So here means if you increase the number of labor, the productivity of individual labor decreases actually in practical terms. But if you have few laborers, then you can get higher productivity of individual labor. So here the efficiency of variable factor is high. Now, indivisibility of fixed factor. Fixed factor, generally the fixed factor which are combined with variable factor are indivisible. If your land is 1 acre, it is 1 acre land. You cannot reduce it. Once an investment is made in an indivisible factor, fixed factor, then addition of more and more units of variable factor improves the utilization of fixed factor. Now, reasons for diminishing return to a factor stage 2. Here the returns, marginal returns are diminishing. So here you get optimum combination of factors, because here economics come into picture, the monetary value of variable factors come into picture. And here they are imperfect substitute. The variable factor can be imperfect substitute of the fixed factor. Optimum combination of factor stage 2 is rational phase. Among the different combinations between variable and fixed factor, there is one optimum combination at which TP is maximum. After making the optimum use of fixed factor, the MR of variable factor begins to diminish. For example, if a machinery is at its optimum use when 4 laborers are employed, then addition of 1 more labor will increase TP by very less amount of the MP will start diminishing. Imperfect substitute. Diminishing return to a factor occurs because fixed and variable factors are imperfect substitutes of one another. I'm just flashing the slides. You can see, I will give you notes on this. What are the reasons so that you can understand in detail the reasons for these kind of variable returns. Limitations of fixed factors and poor coordination decrease. So in stage 3, limitation of fixed factor. You have too many variable factors, but fixed factor is same, but you have put more pressure of variable factors. Then that is the reason for efficiency also. Efficiency of variable factor will reduce. And here the fixed factor will become limited. I can say that too many cooks spoil the dish. If too many people are cooking or are employed on a limited resource or limited fixed factor, then the productivity per unit of variable factor will decrease. The efficiency will also decrease. So here you get limitation of fixed factor, poor coordination between variable and fixed factor. Poor coordination here means too much of pressure of variable factors on this and on the fixed factor. And then decrease in efficiency of variable factor, I've already explained to you. With continuous increase in variable factor, the advantages of specialization and division of labor start diminishing. It results in inefficiencies of variable factor. Now see the properties of TP, MP, and AP under each of the 3 stages, stage 1, 2, 3. And you see in the rows TP, MP, AP. Stage 1, TP increases first at an increasing rate and then at a decreasing rate, total product. MP in the stage 1, it also increases to a maximum and then begins to decrease. I think you can go through it. These kind of questions will come in your quiz exam and they are usually asked in your interviews also. So be sure about this, be clear about this, and it is necessary to understand the differences in TP, MP, AP under 3 different stages. Now, the main thing is profit maximization. Stage 2 is the relevant stage of production, where MP, though decreasing, marginal product is decreasing, but it is not negative. However, the physical relationship alone cannot determine the level of production in this stage of profit maximization. So the law of diminishing return is actually physical relationship or physical relationship between input and output. There is no financial or monetary relationship, but you need to convert it into money terms. The introduction of product price and input cost puts the economic issues into proper perspective. Therefore, the necessary condition of profit maximization is where the optimum input, OX, whose value of MP equals to its price. Delta Y upon delta X is equal to price of X, price of Y, or you can say when you calculate it, marginal cost is equal to marginal return. There you get maximum profit, and up to that level of input, one should operate. To the optimum level of input, one should operate where your marginal cost is equal to marginal return. Suppose your fifth unit, the price of one variable factor is ₹100. And by employing one additional labor, from 6 you are making 7 and you are spending ₹100. And your output, the value of the output due to addition of one unit has increased just by ₹100. So that is actually the optimum level of labor, optimum level of input. This is how you can explain. So through this law, we can work out the optimum level of profit. Now, relationship between TP, AP, and MP, you yourself can go through it. These are quiz questions for you. For example, when MP increases, TP increases at an increasing rate, and you please go through it. Every point is very, very important for you. Try to understand. It is just repetition of the things. It is in different forms. I have shown you in the table, like MP is greater than AP is increasing, MP is less than AP, AP is decreasing. So these are quiz questions, very important. And then there are certain assumptions in the law of diminishing return. Law of diminishing return is not universal. It takes certain assumptions also that all the units of given commodity or inputs are homogeneous, identical in size, shape, quality. Means it is assumed that all the labor will have equal efficiency. It is not that one labor is producing 10 units and other labor is producing 20 units. So each labor should produce roughly 10 units or should be of equal homogeneous. The units of consumption are of reasonable size. The consumption is normal. The consumption is continuous. Here consumption means your resources, your variable cost. Consumption is continuous. There is no unduly long time interval between the consumption of the successive units. The law assumes that only one type of commodity is used for consumption. Means one type of commodity. It is other commodities remain same. Consumer is rational human being. Actually, this law was explained with respect to human consumption and so on, but later on it was extended to agriculture and some other fields. But as I told you that this law is not universal, it has got certain exceptions also. Like certain hobbies, it does not apply. In case of certain hobbies like stamp collection or old coins, very addition unit give more pleasure. This is in respect to, this is not in respect to physical product. This is in satisfaction, with respect to satisfaction. Drunkard, people who drink, it is believed that every dose of liquor increases the utility of a drunkard. इस पे तो हंसना चाहिए यार आपको. You should laugh at this point. Miser means your people. There is difference in miser and greedy person. Miser means a person has money, but he wants more and more money. And greedy person means no. Miser is a person who do not want to spend the money. Miser. And greedy is the person who want more and more money. Little bit difference in miser and greedy person. So miser, greed increases with the acquisition of every additional unit of money. Reading habits, some people, these are exceptions. And it is, of course, very important because it is being the basis of agricultural economics, farm management, fundamental law. So basis of economic laws and concepts, and it is used in public finance and businessmen use it. And in agriculture, we use optimum level of inputs. So now, of course, it is very little time for questions, but I would be happy to answer your questions, comments,